some extremely tight races. So today we're not looking at Bundesliga because the Bundesliga is pretty much squared away. Same with La Liga, same with Liga. Of the leagues that are almost finished, the major European leagues, and ones that I really have anything to say about. So today we're going to be looking at the Scottish Premiership, we're going to be looking at League One, the Championship, and the Premier League. So we have this sheet here, and then just behind I made a second sheet where I'll write down my predictions. So, first and foremost, we'll look at the Scottish Premiership. It's pretty much a two-horse race, right, as it often is between Celtic and Rangers. But now you see only a single point separates the two. But Rangers have a game in hand. And I actually wrote out here, so Celtic, these are their remaining fixtures. Livingston away. Then they face Rangers at the Ibrox. And then they have St. Mirren. And now Rangers, they have Hibernian. Then Celtic, Dundee away. And this is actually a rescheduled match. I was actually going to watch this match like an hour before kickoff. They end up canceling it. And then they have Ross County away. So Rangers have a game in hand too, which I think will both help and hurt them if Rangers win out. Obviously if they beat Celtic there, it's pretty much decided. But Rangers just have to win out and they win the league. Celtic have to beat Rangers away, even if Rangers get a draw here. Or even if Rangers get a draw here against Celtic, Rangers win the league, and I think Rangers have had a better run of form here recently. So we're gonna look now. My final predictions for the Scottish Premiership. I think that Celtic will be our second place team. I think that the Old Firm will either be a draw or Rangers win. I just feel like the Rangers defense has been far better, even though Celtic have they've been scoring more goals. That Rangers defense has been a wall this year, and I think that will propel them to winning the league. I think it's likely Rangers win their remaining 4 games, or they get 3 wins and a draw in the Old Firm. Okay, now this one. This one is the crazy one, because we have a bunch of teams here really close together, 1 through 7. So here's your playoff spots. Here's your automatic promotion spots. And Portsmouth, my boys from my Road to Glory series, I'm pulling for them. They just had a great win against, I believe it was Peterborough. They had a great win, 1-0, and in my mind that pretty much secured them the top spot. this table, top to bottom, is super, super tight. Now, I don't know too much about this league, so I'm not going to try and talk too much. And, what am I going to say? What am I trying to say? I didn't write down the post-it notes with all the fixtures because I'd be writing them down for 7 teams here. Excuse me, 10 teams. Why did I do 10 teams? Oh yeah, because we're pretty tight down here, I guess, with Leyton Orient, and who do I think is getting into the... I might have gone a little bit overboard on this league. But anyways, my predictions for the top 10 spots in League 1, and like I said, this is not going to be super scientific. This is just a best guess. Remember, this video is for relaxation purposes. Leyton Orient, I think they stay where they are. I think they stay here in 10th. Just above them in 9th. I think we get Blackpool. Now, this is where it gets tricky. Do I drop this team? Yeah, I'm gonna do it. Because I think these two teams I'm gonna put above them have better form. I'm gonna put Oxford United in 8th. In 7th, I'm going to put Stevenage. Their form has kind of slipped a little bit in recent games. They've only have 1 win in their last 6. But a team who has just started absolutely surging recently. And I think they're going to get this first playoff spot. Give me Lincoln City there. They've been on an absolute tear, scoring tons of goals. Super hot team. They've won 5 of their last 6, so I think they carry that form into the playoffs. And good luck anybody who meets them in the playoffs. In the 5th spot, I will take the Bolton Wanderers. Forgive my handwriting, I know it's not the best. In 4th, give me Bosch. Give me Peterborough United. I spelled that wrong. There's supposed to be an O right there. And then in 3rd place, I'll take Barnsley. I already kind of gave away the ending here a little bit. I said that I think Portsmouth has pretty much secured the league after that last victory against Peterborough. So in 2. And 2, I'll take Derby County. And then 1, my boys, Pompey. Give me Portsmouth, winning automatic promotion to the championship. That's what I think the final table for League 1 is going to look like. Leicester City was firmly in the driver's seat. I think at one point they were either like 14 or 15 points clear at the top of the table. But as you can see, 3 losses in their last 6. And Leeds United and Ipswich Town have been on absolute tears, and they've really put the pressure on Leicester. Now Leicester does have a game in hand, but let's take a look at it. We're going back to the post-it notes here. So, Leeds United. Leeds United has Watford away. They have Hull City, Coventry away, Sunderland, Blackburn Rovers, Middlesbrough away, QPR away, and they end their season at home against Southampton. Now looking at that list, Hull City is down at 7th. I thought Hull City would be getting into the top 5 because they had a really good transfer window. But then they came out of the gate hot, but they cooled down super quick. So Hull City I'm not too concerned about. Coventry away 8th. Sunderland, they're all the way down at 12th. Blackburn down at 17th. Middlesbrough, they're in 10th. QPR is down at 20th, and Southampton is here at 4th. So if I'm Leeds, the only games I'm really concerned about here are Hull City. I'm concerned about Coventry and maybe Southampton. Those are the ones I'm concerned about if I'm Leeds. Now let's look at Leicester City. Leicester City has Bristol City away, Norwich City, Birmingham, Millwall away, Plymouth Argyle away, West Brom, Southampton, Preston away, and Blackburn Rovers to end their season. Bristol City away is Bristol City. They're in 14th. Norwich City, they're 6th. Birmingham is in... they're in 21st. Millwall's in 16th. Plymouth Argyle's 18th. West Brom is in 5th. Southampton's in 4th. Preston is in 9th. Blackburn is in 17th. So theoretically, Leicester has a bit of a harder run of things than Leeds does here. And finally, Ipswich Town. They have Blackburn Rovers away, Southampton, Norwich City, Watford, Middlesbrough, Hull City, Coventry, Huddersfield. That's the 3 I have there. Now, like I said, I think Leicester has the hardest remaining schedule of the 3, personally. And there's also this thing going on right now with Leicester. I'm not super, sure of the fine details, but it's something about financial fair play, and if they don't get promoted, they're gonna get, point deductions and things like that, which puts their struggles, in an even worse spot, honestly. The fact that they're all of a sudden on shaky ground. Because if they stay in the Championship instead of going up to the Premiership, I think Leicester City is going to get fined or get some points deductions or something like that. Because of financial fair play. But like I said, I think they have the most difficult remaining schedule of the 3 teams at the top. And I think they fall to 3rd, and they end up in the promotion playoffs. I think that the 2nd spot is going to go to Ipswich Town, because in my opinion, their form, and Leeds has been on very similar ground, I think. In the Championship, Leeds and Ipswich Town have been the two best performing teams, and I expect them to continue that run of form. But Leeds is already ahead of Ipswich Town, and I think they will stay ahead of them. And I think that Leeds United will end up winning the Sky Bet Championship. I think Leeds and Ipswich Town will be your two automatic promotion spots. And finally, we have the big one, the Premier League. And I'm actually going to be looking at 5 teams now. I'm going to be looking at the top 5 here. Arsenal, Liverpool, Manchester City, Aston Villa, and Tottenham Hotspur. And the big wrinkle in all of this is that Arsenal and Man City play each other next. And I think that that game has, well, not even I think, it's obvious, it's clear that that game and the outcome has massive, massive, massive implications on this league table. And then there's also Liverpool, their recent loss to Manchester United, not in the league, but in the cup. And maybe is the pressure of this being Jurgen Klopp's last season, is that may get into them, their form slipping a little bit. But I mean, look here, Manchester City, 4 wins, 2 draws in the last 6. Liverpool, 4 wins, 1 draw, 1 loss in the last 6. Arsenal, 6 straight wins in the last 6. In my opinion, Arsenal are in the second best form of any club in the entire world, behind only Bayer Leverkusen. Arsenal is just on another level this season. So let's take a look at them. Arsenal, as I already said, their next game is Manchester City away at the Etihad. Then they have Luton Town, they have Brighton, Aston Villa, the 4th team, Wolves away, Chelsea, Tottenham away, your 5th place team, Bournemouth, Manchester United away, your 6th place team, and then Everton. And also they have Champions League matches scattered amongst all of that. Liverpool has Brighton, then Sheffield United, then they go get Manchester United away. And remember, I just said they lost to Manchester United in the cup. So that'll be the revenge game, or a shock if they lose another game to Manchester United. Then you have Crystal Palace, Fulham away, Everton away, West Ham away. So 3 away games. Then they have Tottenham at home. They go to Aston Villa away. Then they end their season home against Wolves, and they have Europa League games they're playing at the moment. Manchester City play Arsenal, that's already talked about. Then they go play Aston Villa, your 4th place team. Then Crystal Palace away, Luton Town, Tottenham away, Brighton away, Nottingham Forest away, another big away stand. Then they have Wolves, Fulham away, and they end their season at West Ham. And they have some Champions League matches in between. So not even looking at 4 or 5 yet, just looking at the 3 teams that are your teams that are most likely to win the league. Who has the best schedule? Looking at this, honestly, in my opinion, Arsenal has the easiest schedule. As soon as this Manchester City game is over, this is a way easier schedule. Because you're going back and forth a little bit, away, home, away, home, away, home, away, home, right? Whereas Liverpool and Manchester City have 3 games away in a row, then come back and go away again. They both do that. That's a ton of travel. I don't know if that's going to play a huge factor, but just looking at that, I feel like Arsenal have the best schedule of the 3 of our presumed title winners or league winners. Now we're going to look at 4 and 5. Aston Villa. Aston Villa's schedule, they have Wolves, then Manchester City away, Brentford, Arsenal away, Bournemouth, Chelsea, Brighton away, Liverpool at home, Crystal Palace away is where they end their season. Then Tottenham, they have a brutal end to their season, Luton Town, West Ham away, Nottingham Forest, Newcastle away, and then look at this stand, Manchester City, then Arsenal, then Liverpool away. In 3 straight games, they play the top 3 of the league back to back to back. Then they go home to play Burnley, Sheffield United away, and they finish their season away at Newcastle. Now here's the thing with Tottenham. I think they win one of these. I don't think they lose 3 straight games against the big 3. I think this Tottenham side this year is good enough to win one of these games. Which one that is, I actually do not have an opinion on that. I actually think Manchester City is potentially the most likely for them to win. But it wouldn't shock me if they beat Liverpool. This being the derby, I just don't see Arsenal dropping that with their current form. But I could really see Tottenham taking Manchester City or Liverpool, which throws a huge wrench into the title race. And you just know that Spurs fans would love to be the reason Manchester City or Liverpool end up dropping the title. So, let's go in for my prediction, shall we? Like I said, I think that Tottenham Hotspur win one of those 3 games against the top 3. But unfortunately, they play all of them in a row. And I think that could, losing 2 out of those 3, I think that can do a lot of damage to them. And I think they'll end the season in the 5th spot. I really thought that maybe they could jump up to 4th and take that spot from Aston Villa. But the more I thought about it, the less likely it seemed. Meaning in 4th place, I have Aston Villa. Which, I like Aston Villa. That's a nice surprise for me, seeing them top 4. I do think they end the season there. I think it'll be close between them and Tottenham. But I'll give the edge on to Aston Villa. 3rd place. Now I want to say I think our 3rd place team and 2nd place team finish on the same amount of points. But that our 2nd place team gets the spot on goal differential or win-loss record, whatever it is, but I think they enter the same amount of points. I think our 3rd place team is going to be Man City. Part of me feels like they're just gonna go Superman mode and take the top spot, and part of me honestly would not be that shocked if they did that. Part of me is even sort of expecting it in a way, like they're just gonna go out and steamroll Arsenal and just boom, 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 and go unbeaten until the season. I think that's possible. But looking at their schedule, like I said, I think it's possible they drop that game to Tottenham. I put them at 3. But I think the second place team is also going to drop at least one game along the way. And part of me feels like it's going to be that Manchester United game, which will just be extra salt in the wound. But I have Liverpool as our second place team at the end of the season. I think both these teams finish with 87 points at the end of the year. But I think our champions, our winners of the Premier League, is Arsenal. Their form right now, I think it would take a complete collapse on their behalf for them to not win, in my opinion. Now, like I said, if they go out, they play Manchester City and they get throttled, I think maybe Man City pulls it off. But I have a lot of concerns about Liverpool's form at the moment. And there's, even the games they've been winning recently, I feel like haven't been extremely convincing. I think Liverpool, of these 3 teams, is playing the worst at the moment. And I don't know how sustainable that is coming into the, to use a boxing term, the championship rounds. But again, this is just my predictions. I don't really know what I'm talking about. This is mainly for the purpose of relaxation, so I do hope I at least accomplished that. Let me know what you think about these predictions in the comments down below, if you agree, if you disagree. How do you think the rest of these seasons are going to go for any of these leagues? I'd love to hear any and all feedback in the comments down below. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up. And subscribe to the channel for more content just like this almost every single day. Until next time, guys. Bye-bye.